That is so fucked up. It's fucked up. So fucked up. It is just so damn fucked up. That's fucked up.
I'm here. You're here. Yeah, here we are.
We're here.
And it's our last episode of season 4. What?
That's insane.
I know. You guys, it's the last episode of That's So Fucked Up, a podcast about cults, murder, and other generally fucked up stuff. We're your hosts. I'm Ashley Richards.
And I'm Pam Dexter.
And I said the last episode, but obviously it's not the last episode. It's like we said, the last episode of season 4.
Of season 4.
This shit has like flown the fuck by, no?
This season especially, actually.
Yeah, like so fast. And now that we're to the end of it, we actually like are remembering to play bingo and
Yeah, I already pulled up bingo today.
Yeah, we actually already have bingo pulled up. I have it pulled up too.
We're ahead. We've learned.
Go us. Like Okay, so before we get into things, guys, just want to give you a quick reminder that if you've been enjoying listening to season 4 as much as we've been enjoying recording it for y'all, then please, real quick, give us a quick 5-star rating and hit subscribe. And if you really want to help us out, send us a review and we'll send you some free stickers and put you in a drawing to win a mug, which we will announce our February mug drawing winner, review drawing winner.
Yeah.
Later on in the show. So yeah, a few exciting announcements at the end, you guys. So I know there's always a tendency to dip out before announcements, but stay tuned for them.
Yeah, announcements are fun. We like announcements. You guys make sure, if you haven't already, to play bingo with us so that you can win a free month of Patreon. Our Patreons get a bunch of cool grab bag of stuff, right? Ad-free episodes, early released episodes.
Patreon got pretty cool in season 4.
Yeah.
We kind of like upped our game.
Yep. We also really have been putting a lot into the interviews that we're getting. That's been really great. Who have we talked to? Dr. Jan Jelalich. That was a great one.
That was awesome. We also talked to Dylan Reeve, the co-director of Tickled.
Yep.
And we got to interview MP Priestley, the author of Jack the Ripper, One Autumn in Whitechapel. And so it's been really, really fun interviews this season. And the book club has been so fun, like connecting with the patrons in that way. Our last meeting for I'll Be Gone in the Dark was just a hoot. Thanks for coming, you guys who came.
That's great. Along with the book club, you guys, as you know, I'm doing the Conjecture Corner, which is exciting and can't wait to bring you whatever it is we're going to talk about next season. I guess it'll be next season.
Yeah.
Season 5?
What?
It's season 4 for me, but it's season 5 for the show.
For the show. Yeah. Big stuff. All right. Let's just get into it because I'm really excited to tell you the story of today, you guys.
Wait, I have one important announcement that I have to make.
Do it.
This pertains to one of the first stories I ever told on the show. They have cut down the Maura Murray Memorial tree. There has been a blue ribbon wrapped around the tree where she was last seen, where she had her car accident. And they chopped the tree down. And the family wanted to keep it as a memorial and put a plaque up there or something. And there's been literally a blue ribbon wrapped around the tree for, what has it been, 16 years? The tree has been cut down.
Dude, I'm laughing and smiling inappropriately because that's so fucking fucked up. What?
I know.
Why?
I know.
Who does that and why?
I think that people just go there and either stop at the tree or armchair detective sleuths will just go out to that area and go walk around people's private property because this case is a big where did she go? There's a lot of concerned people who really maybe want to find her remains if they're out there or maybe clues. It's
become a dark tourism destination.
It's a huge mystery, yes, and I do know. So again, I only just heard the tagline, so I don't know a lot of the details, but I know that that's been a really big problem with that area. Just people, it's a secluded place. You don't want to look out your window on a private, rural area and have like 3 strangers walk through your yard and like head out into the woods behind your house.
Yeah.
So I understand that from that perspective, but I really don't understand the tree. I mean, the tree was totally like a special memorial, and just wanted to say that. Now it's been cut down.
So do they think that because the tree's not there anymore that people are going to stop going to the area? Like they're like, well, the fucking tree's gone, so I'm over it.
That's a great point. It's like the area is still the area. You know?
Like, couldn't they have just, I don't know, maybe taken the blue ribbon off?
I just think, I don't know. I thought it was a really special thing. And of course it like, I know that it held a special place in the heart of the family members. And that was really important to them. So it's just like, oh man. But you're right. People are still going to go.
You know, that reminds me of a little announcement that I have as well. Speaking of Maura Murray, you guys go check out Riddle Me That podcast. Dr. Jules did like a fucking literally 8 or 9 or 10 part series on Maura Murray and interviewed her sister and a ton of experts and crazy stuff. So go check that out and check out the joint episode that I just co-hosted with Jules where we talked about, are you familiar with the story of who put Bella in the witch elm?
Nope.
Crazy shit. Give it a listen.
Okay.
You guys, there's spies. There's a dead lady stuffed in the trunk of a tree. There's a lot of other crazy stuff that I can't think of. But yeah, it's a wild ride. So guys, reminder, as always, we're not journalists, experts, any of that. Those are the people we try to interview. So, come at us if we got stuff wrong for sure, because I want to know. Like, I definitely want to know if we got stuff wrong. But, you can be nice about it.
Yeah. Or not.
That's always cool. But maybe.
We hope nice.
Yeah. And y'all, my main source was a documentary called The Galapagos Affair, Satan Came to Eden. And I may or may not have illegally pirated it. So it's not really available to watch because I try to go through the legal channels first.
Mm-hmm.
I tried iTunes and they said that it was not available in this country. So, you got to do what you got to do. So it's cool because I'm just going to recount the documentary for you guys anyways. Fucked up bingo because this story is all over the goddamn place. It's a big old mystery. So guys, head over to our website, tsfuthepodcast.com and pull that up. All right, here we go. So Friedrich Ritter was born in Germany in 1886 and served in the First World War. His grandnephew that they interviewed in the film said that this changed him, which, I find that understandable going to war.
Yep. So
when he came back, he began living by Nietzschean principles. And aren't you watching Sinner season 3?
Yes.
So, it's based around Nietzsche and the Ubermensch philosophy and everything. Or are you not there yet? Is that a big spoiler?
No. They just talked about that. And he's like, we have to all look death in the face and then we can live as men should live. Let's drive our cars off the fucking bridge.
Yeah. So, y'all.
And then Bill Pullman is like, I'm Bill Pullman. I'm mugging. He's like, that when actors are his
so
face.
fantastic.
No, I love him.
He's always hilarious. Looks so
he's
pained.
Yeah, right? It's always he's addressing the most intense situation that he's ever addressed. And he does that for hour after hour. It's it's still so bad. Oh,
that's so good, Cam. Yeah.
Man. I mean, the show is great, but Bill Pullman. Anyway.
You guys watch it if you're not yet. Sinner season 3.
Yeah. But they do. Some philosophical, lofty ideals are being expressed in this 3rd season.
Yeah. When people get into Nietzsche, they, they generally kind of tend to think that they're better than everybody else. That's
right.
That's a big part of it. So, actually in season 1, we interviewed Mark Linsenmeyer from the Partially Examined Life Philosophy podcast, and he explained Nietzsche to the season 1 co-host Macy and I, because we were like, what the fuck does this all mean? Philosophy goes a little bit over my head.
I was like, I don't remember the interview, so I must have, I don't know where I was, but I wasn't there. I'm glad we cleared that up. I was like, I have no idea what we're talking about right now.
You're was I high? What?
Oh shit, dude. It's
But
CBD gummies are like, whoa.
hit us up for sponsorships, y'all.
Totally.
Yeah, CBD is.
Totally.
Hey-o. Yeah, so he explained Nietzsche and philosophy to us because it is pretty, I don't know, like hard to wrap your mind around, but definitely white supremacists and people like Hitler have historically kind of cherry-picked Nietzsche's philosophical ideas and been like, yeah, so we're going to use those and point to like our thing. So he wasn't a Nazi, but the Nazis used his philosophy to, you know, get their own philosophy going.
Just for anybody who doesn't know, like me, I'm going to read a little thing. Nietzsche primarily meant that, for all practical purposes, his contemporaries lived as if God were dead, though they had not yet recognized it. Nietzsche believed that death had already started to undermine the foundations of morality and would lead to moral relativism and moral nihilism. So if anyone out there knows what any of that means, let us know.
No, exactly. Well, that's why we had the guy from the philosophy podcast come on.
He's the God is dead guy? Is that his thing?
Yeah, God is dead. That's Nietzsche.
Okay, cool. Okay.
So people who are into Nietzsche are like, oh, I'm so into Nietzsche. Like, man. Yeah, so you guys watch the season 3 of Sinner if you're not doing that yet, if I didn't already say that, but fuck, it's so good. So anyways, fuck, we digress. That's a little bit about Nietzsche. Shit. Okay, so here I go. So he starts living by these Nietzschean principles and like starts, you know, believing that you only have yourself. And he starts dreaming about escaping bourgeois life because he's into Nietzsche. So he thinks that he's like way cooler than everybody else.
Right. See, because when you have enough money to get into philosophy, then you start resenting like the money and then you need to like give all your like worldly possessions away. Like there's a theme here, right? He's like, how do I escape my bourgeoisie lifestyle? I'm so like privileged and bored.
Wait, but did you know that bourgeois means middle class?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I always thought like bourgeois, bougie. Yeah. So
am I saying that word right or wrong?
The bourgeois. It's bourgeois. Bourgeois, I think is how. Yeah. No, you're saying it right, but the bourgeois is actually of or characteristic of the middle class, typically referring to perceived materialistic values or conventional attitudes.
Huh.
Y'all, we are schooling the fuck out of you right now, huh? Just like philosophy, definitions of words, like
our
you just came to
our
school.
Listeners didn't even know that we were just gonna like lay down. We haven't even told a story yet. We're just like googling things. Nietzsche, bourgeoisie is a name I can't even say.
We're like 15 minutes in, you guys. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Referring to people with a certain cultural or financial capital belonging to the middle or upper class. Yeah, middle or upper.
Okay. So like middle or upper, but with like basically just like basic ideals, you know, just like, yeah, they're into materialism and blah, 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 not into it. Right.
Right. No. In philosophy, you have to give all your stuff away like Siddhartha and go sit under the tree for a while.
Right. Or else what are you even doing? I think.
Dude, Hermann Hesse.
Don't say names to me that I don't know. Don't pull that baloney.
You never read that? It's a really good book, actually, called Siddhartha.
It was recommended to me, and then I looked at it, and it was like 9,000 pages, and I was like, not today.
No, it's a quick read.
No, it's like 1,000 pages at least.
Okay, well, anyone who... I'm pretty sure
you know what? I'm just going to Google it.
I think that book is like 145 pages long. I read it like 20 years ago. How good is my memory?
Okay. No, you're right. It is 152 pages.
Boom! Right? Oh my God, that shit.
What?
Dude, marijuana doesn't hurt my memory. You see that shit? I read that fucking book in high school, bitches. Boom. Don't tell me I'm burning my brain cells up.
No, you dropped it like it was hot.
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
I wonder if our listeners at all is impressed with us right now as we are with ourselves.
I mean, like, I think we should just chat today. I'm just kidding. I want to hear the story.
Faces, and I feel like
she's getting a little red. I think that, yeah.
Stop judging us, Yvette. No, just kidding. We love you. Okay, so seriously, no, the story. I'm really going to tell it. Yeah.
I love it this week. You're telling me a story. I just get to sit here and like.
Yeah. No, it's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so stop it.
I'm done.
So
That's
Ritter.
My lips are sealed. Zip.
Are they?
Yeah. Zip.
Okay. So Ritter wrote, organized society appears to me as a huge impersonal monster, forging for a chance for which to shackle its members. So basically, like, he's way too good for this shit, but he establishes a lucrative dental practice and meets 28-year-old dore-strauch when he's treating her for multiple sclerosis. Why?
My grandpa had MS.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. His famous line, no, it's okay. I was actually just thinking about this line the other day. We have his famous line in our family now. He had to drink out of a sippy cup, and he went, $1,000 wine out of a sippy cup. And he was like shaking, and he actually had an amazing sense of humor, but it was obviously towards the end hard for him to like say stuff. So
I'm so sorry. I don't know why my reaction right then was to burst out laughing.
Oh, I'm not offended.
I don't know. I'm so sorry. I laugh when it's like so rude and inappropriate sometimes. Just I don't know why. It just
Get
is
the
like
giggles
a
out.
sickness. I'm like, I'm so sorry for your grandpa.
I'm pretty sure this is my favorite episode, and we're not even 1/10 of the way through, by the way. I think I can already tell
sorry
this
your grandpa had MS.
Yeah, I was like, it is a terrible disease, though.
No, I'm sure. So he wrote that, and now I'm going to get on to my next bullet point. I'm at bullet point 7 out of like 90.
Yeah.
So here we go. So he established a dental practice and began treating dore-strauch for MS. And I'm sorry, I think this is why I laughed, because like, why is he, a dentist, treating her for her multiple sclerosis?
I know, nothing screams living by Nietzschean principles like dental work.
Oh, girl.
Like treating dentals.
No, girl. We're going to get into some fun dental stories. Don't even worry. So they bonded over their shared hatred of bourgeois domesticity, and they become lovers. Dora wrote, "With all the strength and obstinacy in me, I have defended myself against preconceived notions of bourgeoisie homemaking. The German woman has been content to model herself through the ages as the Hausfrau," which is my favorite word, "bound by 4 walls of a few stuffy rooms. The emptiness and frustration of such an empty existence poisons the spirit."
I feel her there.
No, I get that too. I'm like with you.
I'm not the type of lady, like, I don't have like a Tupperware set for every piece of food. I don't have like a plastic bag in all shapes and sizes.
Right.
You know
and
what
in
I
the
mean?
20s, like if you were a woman, like you were supposed to have, I don't think they had the Tupperware in the 20s. That was more like the 60s.
But they had like casserole parties where they all.
Right. They had domestic shit that was like, no, that's what the bitches do. They're over there with the casserole and whatnot.
Yeah. If that's your jam, like go for it every day, you know?
Yeah.
But
casserole it up. We're not judging.
Dude.
But like at the time, her not wanting to be a part of that was pretty different, you know? So she was like really on board with Ritter's point of view.
Yeah.
And she said that the love that she felt for him wasn't like a regular romantic love, but she regarded him more as her, quote, teacher, guide, and fate. So I'm thinking it's kind of like a little bit one-person culty. Like, shout out Yanya. Please come back and talk to us because I have so many more questions. And I want to know, like, what's a one-person cult? And is this one? But I think it is because she's kind of regarding him almost as a god.
Mm-hmm.
And Nietzsche says God is dead. So if there is no God and this God, dude, is her God, then yeah, we're in a pretty culty state already here. And he believed that she could cure her MS with willpower alone. So like early days, The Secret type stuff.
Sounds like magical thinking, but okay.
Well, I don't know.
It also sounds like Christian Science.
Yeah. So again, culty. Ding, ding.
Absolutely.
So she's like, on board. Okay, you think I can cure it with willpower? I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
So as Hitler is coming into power in 1929, he says that after 20 years of thinking about it, at the age of 43, quote, his time has come. And you guys, this documentary was so cool because it was like all their journal entries and people were reading their journal entries to like old-timey footage. Everything was crazy well documented. So a lot of most of what you hear in the documentary is coming directly from them.
Cool. That is cool.
So he finally decides to leave, you know, shitty bourgeois society. And he and Dora head to the Galapagos Islands. They go like as far as they fucking possibly can. They're like, we want to go. where there's no other people. We just like want to get the fuck out. And they want to go, you know, kind of be like Adam and Eve, and he wants to write his fucking manifesto or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They've got this like idyllic idea, you know, it's going to be dope.
Mm-hmm.
So fucking dope.
I've heard the Galapagos are pretty sweet.
Totally, right?
Yeah.
Totally. So they go, but before they go, they leave both of their spouses and apparently tell them to take care of each other. So they're like, deuces, that's Mark. Go hang out with him instead.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we got to go, but you guys are boring as shit. You guys should hang out.
You know what? In life, sometimes you got to do the wrong thing. You just got to make a mistake, take
Feels
a trip.
good to be bad.
It feels pretty good to be bad. From the mouth of someone who's made a couple mistakes in their old.
Oh,
Woo!
just a
Whoa.
few.
That was fun, but yikes.
A lot of lessons learned. Much wiser now in my 30s. You know, like people in their 40s and 50s are listening and like, you're so dumb. Trust me. In 10 years, you're going to listen to this and realize that you know nothing. Yeah.
Or like the people who know everything about me, they're just like, she hasn't learned.
You're like, I think I got this. They're like, no. Nah.
That's the beauty of life, though. We're always learning.
No. And
see, you picked a philosophical topic. You're just this is like, I'm just going to keep butting in and be like, this is really interesting because
well, I'm about to learn you some more. So
school me. All right. Sorry. Okay, I'm good.
So before they leave, apparently, I'm not sure which one is true, but either Ritter wanted to see if his gums would toughen up in the wilderness, or obsessive mastication, which is just like obsessive chewing. No, like obsessive chewing, destroyed his teeth. Either way, he pulled out all of his teeth before they left.
No. You know, the monks do that. They chew every bite 30 times. But oh my.
Oh, okay. So maybe he was probably doing that kind of thing.
I know that there are some monks who do that. I don't remember why I know that, but they do. It's a
maybe he took
form
it
of
further,
meditation.
Like 50
It sounds like he did. If all his teeth fell out. Did he pull them out or they fell out? What happened here?
He pulled them out. So he crafted himself a pair of homemade steel dentures.
Shut the ever-loving fuck up.
No,
is there like a photo?
True.
Wait.
I'm dying.
What? No. Wow.
He never smiles.
No.
Are you ready for more?
Yeah. No, I'm just looking at, look at this couple. My goodness. She is a handsome lady.
You guys will post pictures in the blog. There's actually like really good pictures. Good video too. Like surprisingly, I was like, is this real? But unfortunately, he didn't pull Dora's teeth out, so they later rotted on the island, and he pulled them out there with garden tools, and then they shared the metal dentures.
What? Oh, no. Guys.
Yeah, so that's fast forwarding a little bit, you know, talking about her sharing the metal dentures. We're not there yet. So July 4th, him and his metal dentures and her, they sail from Amsterdam and begin their 4-week journey to Guayaquil, Ecuador.
Cool.
They actually spent the entire month of August waiting for a schooner that would take them to the Galapagos Islands. Like, this place is like desolate as fuck. You can't just you gotta
sail
to
there.
Get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and unless you have your own sailing boat, apparently you got to wait a month for somebody to, give you a ride.
Yeah. No, it's a popular destination for folks that sail. I hear about people sailing there.
The island of Santa Cruz had about a dozen European settlers already, so they were like, no, we want to be totally alone. So they settled on the island of Floreana.
So they're moving to the Galapagos to live. Like they want to live on a completely remote, desolate, like their own island in the Galapagos.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's the plan.
I'm with you. All right.
So by September 1929, they're there on Floreana Island and they're alone. Like I said, they documented a ton on video and in pictures, and it was really cool to see. But Dora is generally almost always smiling in the videos and pictures. And he just always has this like, I'm a dick look on his face.
He's very stern. I saw when I was looking for the steel metal teeth. I saw him. She looks happy as can be.
Yeah. I don't know
She's got
why.
a huge smile on her face.
Right. I don't know why, because things already sound bad. Just like, wait.
Okay.
So when they arrived, they expected to find a tropical paradise, but instead they found land that was covered with thorny bushes and hardened lava flow. Like, it was like not inviting land at all. But they didn't decide to like turn around and go to one of the other islands. They really wanted to be alone, you know?
Yeah.
They're just like, fuck it, we're going to do this. So they actually had to walk an hour inland to find a fertile basin that had a spring and vegetation.
Clean drinking water. And yo, I watch Naked and Afraid, okay? Like, I know.
So to plant a garden, they didn't want to live, I guess, all the way inland or something. I don't really know why. Or maybe the spring was up a hill. I'm not sure exactly what the deal was, but
okay.
Basically, to plant a garden, they had to break the lava up and carry it away in buckets so that they could bring arable soil down from the hilltop spring. Also in buckets.
You know the thing about desolated islands is that nobody lives on them because it's really hard to live on them. Like... You know,
right, nobody settled here for a reason.
They're uninhabited for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, like, spoiler alert, it's hard to live there.
Yeah.
Resources are scarce. All right.
There's hard rocks everywhere.
Yeah, it's a fucking lava pit, guys.
So they expected iguanas and tortoises and stuff like that. But they also found that 18th century pirates had brought goats to the island.
Oh.
And the mainland government introduced dogs to control the goats. And earlier colonists had left behind cattle, donkeys, cats, and pigs, which then accidentally introduced rats, mice, and cockroaches. So there's just like a fuck ton of like feral animals and stuff here too. Like, and they're vegetarians. So it's not like, oh, cool. Well, that's food for them to hunt.
Oh, well, that's of course what I was thinking. I was like, oh, a goat? That's amazing. That's something you can eat.
So they want to eat vegetables, but then all these animals like want to get in on their garden. So like strike 6 already. I don't even know.
Survival tip 20 from Bear Grylls. Go to a remote island, but make sure you're a vegan. You know, in survival situations, I don't know, maybe eat some meat. Just saying.
Oh, well, we'll get there. There's so many things. They did tame a couple cats and donkeys as pets. And Dora had a pet burro that she like really loved. But
what's a burro?
A donkey.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'm learning like all sorts of things.
I'm taking you to school, girl. So she put a lot of attention on her donkey friend because, you know, she was lonely as fuck and Ritter was a total asshole and like, you know, mean to her. And she wrote in her journal at one point that she'd even be happy to see a cannibal. And Ritter wrote that her attention to animals very much disappointed him because even though she thinks her love of animals is good and admirable, he said it's just a flittering of the animal within herself. This guy is just like such a pompous asshole. He's like, well, you're just an animal yourself and you're just pretending you love animals because you're an animal. What? Shut up, Ritter.
Well, it's like you don't need other connections.
You just need me to be mean to you all the time.
Right.
And while the pet donkeys and cats were cool, the other animals, like I said, wanted to eat their garden. So that was a problem. They tried to shoot and poison the wild hogs because I guess they were the most problematic and they can be pretty aggressive. But eventually, the only thing that kept them away was dynamite. Like, I think like blowing them up.
You guys.
Yeah. So
you know what else is good? Yeah, go to like an untouched island where humans haven't been and like start like dynamiting
shit up.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's cool. But I'm glad they're on their like philosophical journey, you know, as long as they're happy.
Well, Cam, don't worry, because although these other animals were nuisances, it may have been the tortoises that eventually led to the demise of them and some of the other islands' inhabitants. Because there's a legend called the curse of the giant tortoises, which it's believed that the tortoises can read the thoughts of anyone who comes to the islands, and they curse anyone with bad intentions. And now we're going to take a quick commercial break. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, and we're back, and shit's about to get even realer, if that's possible.
More real than steel teeth? I don't know.
I know. So it was super fucking hot on the island. Surprise. Like, humans shouldn't be here, basically, is what's up.
Right.
So they were naked most of the time, and they just wore hip boots, which I'm guessing are boots that go up to your hips to protect their feet and legs from thorns and jagged rocks. So here they are sharing their metal dentures. They're probably not sharing the metal dentures at this point. Actually, I don't know how quickly it took for her teeth to rot out, but him being a dentist, I feel like he should have, seen that coming ahead of time. Rude. This guy was so inconsiderate. So they're working constantly, and he's just unsatisfied with everything he does, or with everything she does. And he told her that she just had to learn to think in a way that would make her well, because, surprise, surprise, she has untreated multiple sclerosis,
Oh,
and he's like, so stop complaining and just use your thoughts. Like, okay, I don't want to hear it.
Magical
basically.
thinking.
Mhm.
That's right. It's the secret.
And when he wrote home, because the one thing that was on this island was what they called Post Office Bay, and it was just like a barrel on a pole, and you could like put letters in there, and occasionally sailors would drop by and pick them up or whatever. So I guess he was able to like send letters home that way. And crazy, right? Now that I think about it, like that they made him home. Like, what? So they lived in solitude, but occasionally a ship would come by and grab a letter or whatever. And when he wrote home, apparently his letters just like didn't speak of love or even like pity for her. He just would he wrote, quote, "I must frequently remind Dora that Nietzsche says to live is to suffer. To survive is to find some meaning to the suffering. We can't expect to find paradise anywhere unless we're willing to create it." Like, eye roll and a half. Like,
Okay.
so in February of 1931, at this point, they've been working a year and a half, nonstop, and it's come to be a pretty nice little setup they've got going on. And they call it Frito, which is a combination of their names. They live in solitude for another year, and eventually letters home leaked to the press, and they become internationally famous, known as the modern day Adam and Eve. In January 1932, so about a year later. So at this point, they've been alone for like 2.5 years. A research vessel called the Valero 3 shows up with a group of 20 scientists, and they're on an expedition in the Galapagos to study rare animals, and they wanted to stop by and see this couple that they had heard about.
Okay.
The ship's captain was actually Captain George Allen Hancock, and fun fact, he was a philanthropist and owner of Rancho La Brea Oil Company and the La Brea Tar Pits. Shout out LA, huh?
Yeah.
They took them on the ship for a day to, kind of like treat them or whatever. And they played German music as they were coming on board, and Dora got emotional. And one of the scientists wrote in his journal, it was cool. They had little excerpts from the scientists and other people too, that, he seemed embarrassed by her display of emotion and lectured her. And not surprisingly, when they left, she was pretty bummed because she's
like a hostage on this island.
Totally. She's like a fucking toothless hermit with this asshole. Later that year, in August 1932, Heinz and Margaret Wittmer arrived with their son Harry, escaping post-war financial meltdown. They had read about the eccentric doctor and were like, that sounds like a plan. Let's go do that.
With them. Let's go literally live on the same island that the Toothless Wonders.
Yeah,
Okay.
So they figured that the Galapagos was the solution to give their son Harry like a healthy Swiss Robinson family existence. That's a quote. Because I guess the son was like kind of sick with something. I don't know. And they figured that they'd also have access to a doctor because she was also 5 months pregnant. And I could understand why Ritter and Dora would be pissed. Like, that's a little presumptuous. Like, oh, you guys moved to a deserted island to be alone? Cool. We're just going to like come set up shop. And can you be our doctor?
Yeah, I think that I would be less than thrilled.
Yeah, like
I would like, you have to get an invite to come to my private island. Like, that's the rules of private islands. You needed to be invited.
Yeah, totally. You need an invite.
Yeah. Like, you can't just, like go to the beach, right? You had to be accepted. And then like, if you're Leonardo DiCaprio, you have to like fuck the lady who runs the place. And then, like there are rules.
There's
to
cults everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is a one-person cult. You're not invited.
That's how it works. Yeah.
So I think it's going to be super cool. They get there. They're pretty disappointed because it's like barren land. And Ritter and Dore are like, what the fuck are you doing here? And they're like, make it very clear that they're like not into being friends.
Here's a tip, guys. If you go to a private island and one of the people there has a mouthful of steel teeth, like you should run away. Okay. The other thing I want to point out is I'm not making fun of people who like are missing teeth. Like, dental work is expensive. I totally get that. The reason it's funny is he's a fucking dentist.
Right.
Okay. So like, I just want to make that clear. Like, that's why.
And he couldn't fashion a pair of dentures out of something other than steel.
Basically anything else would have.
Wood. I don't care. Anything.
Ew. No, he already rotted all his teeth out, so wood would. Ugh. Ew, I can't even.
He's like, these babies got to stay sharp. I need to use these for the rest of my life. That's, I think, what he was thinking. So they take them to these like fucking pirate caves, like an hour across the island. And they're like, you can set up here. It's literally pirate caves. They took them to these like caves to live in. I'm like, this is wild. These people are just going to like straight live in some pirate caves right now with like the steel teeth neighbors.
Did you ever read that book, The Island of the Blue Dolphins? Like, I really wanted to be that girl.
You've read so many books. Like, I have not read nearly as many books.
I like wanted to go live alone on an island though. But like, well
I remember like,
like thriving.
Well, remember like the Swiss Flat Family Robinson. You remember that?
Yeah. They figured it out.
Yeah. So also Ritter was like, I'm not going to be your fucking pregnancy doctor. Okay. Like, I'm a fucking dentist. A, right? Like, yeah. B, that's super presumptuous. But he like refused to give her any care until she was like almost died during labor. Then he was like, all right, fine, fuck it. So a few
maybe
months...
have your baby before you move to the fucking island of Dr. Moreau.
Right? Like, what? You're gonna like go somewhere with no medical services and just like cross your fingers that this dentist is gonna help you out?
It's like if you looked at his resume, it's like, how good of a dentist are you? And he smiles and you're like, you're not getting the job. It's like,
I'm gonna get a second opinion.
Sorry. Oh, you'll have my baby. You're good. Like, no. I think all these people deserved each other, frankly, at this point. Nobody's like firing on all cylinders, man.
No, dude. And just wait till the next people show up because they're of the same caliber.
Yikes.
And, you know, Dore was super lonely, but she was like, fuck these people. Like, they don't even read Nietzsche. She was like, this bitch is like some common housefrau. And they like did not share their same like spiritual, philosophical ideals. So they were like, these people are total fucking garbage, essentially.
You're like, you have all your teeth, bitch? Get out of here. Like, you don't get it.
You fucking common bush.
Jesus.
You just don't get what we're doing here.
God, you just... Some people just don't get what we're doing on the island, okay?
And where's your fucking invite? Because I don't see it. So a few months later, in October 1932, the Wittmers are super excited because they hear their dog barking. And they see this chick riding up on a donkey carrying a revolver. with 2 young strapping men with her. She proclaims that she's Baroness Eloise Verborn de Wagner-Busquet. I probably butchered that. From Paris. And that she's planning on establishing a grand hotel called Hotel Paradiso on the island. And she wants to turn it into a sort of Miami for American millionaires. So at this point, if you're Dora and Ritter, like, how pissed are you?
That's the problem with a good idea. Like everybody.
It wasn't even a great idea, and people still were like, I want in on it.
Right. That's how we work. The sheep just follow.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't just go to an island and like lose all your teeth anymore. Undisturbed.
Those days are fucking over.
Those days are fucking over. We've got Twitter now. Everybody knows. You could never do the beach thing, you know?
Never.
I still wish I could. I think I talk about that movie. The beach is becoming like my session 9. I'm like, yeah, but can we go to the beach?
But have you seen the beach?
Guys?
So she introduces her 2 German lovers, Robert Philipson and Rudolf Lorenz, as her architect and engineer. So yeah, she's like this beautiful Austrian baroness who's like polyamorous. She's ahead of the time. And she just comes up in there like, yo, this is mine now.
You know, personally, I think it's like a 2 girls, 1 guy situation, you know, if I were to ever, but, you know, to each their own, man.
No, she
2 Germans sounds like a lot.
She wanted like a stable of boys. Like, yeah, no, this lady was like, she was, woo.
Wow. Hell yeah.
Yeah. She lived fast and
Europeans
loose.
don't have the sexual puritanical hangups that
Americans
I
do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We are so uptight.
That's true.
I'm not.
I'm not.
I mean, like,
Bill Pullman. So, yeah, she's poly. She's fucking ahead of the times. And she immediately announces herself the Queen of Floreana. Like, she's...
Oh, the queen of the island.
Yeah. Like, she's bigger than life. She's like, yeah, I'm here. The shit's mine now. Ritter, Dora, yeah, fuck you guys. I know you were here first, but I'm the fucking Baroness, so I don't know. But the thing is like she wasn't even like a Baroness. We later find like she's.
Are any of them?
No.
It's like indentured servitude is out, guys.
But
give
like,
your land to like the people. Okay,
it's the
people's land.
It like really worked for her though. Like she sold it, and I don't know, people were into it. So she was with the German lovers who were her quote unquote architect and engineer for the quote unquote resort they were building.
I get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of building going on. Lots of we're drawing up blueprints all night, baby.
Oh, you're on a roll today, Cam.
I am, right? I'm pretty proud of I think I'm being funny. Like
no, you are. You're cracking me up. So, speaking of indentured servitude being out, they also have this guy, Manuel Valdivioso, who's Ecuadorian and presumably hired to do the work. Yeah, I don't know. That's about all you hear about this guy. And then as far as historical records show, I don't know, he just disappears into thin air. Maybe he didn't, but he apparently wasn't noteworthy enough for literally anything that I read or saw to mention him after that.
Interesting.
Poor Manuel,
So they are actually trying to build this hotel. It's not a complete lie.
Yeah, no, she wants
There's
to
efforts
do that.
being made. Okay, cool.
Yeah, she's a little out of her realm though. She's like, what's up? I'm going to build a hotel. But I could say that too.
Got it.
Hey guys, I'm going to build a hotel. I just said it.
Yeah. And I'm Baroness Cameron Holly Dexter, the fucking 10th.
And I'm the boy king.
Exactly.
Lord C and the boy king. This story it's a wild ride. So this bitch moves in right next to the Wittmers because their pirate caves are also next to a little spring.
Nice.
Ritter was like, look, you can't be anywhere near our spring, but I'll take you to this pirate spring.
Welcome to my cave duplex.
Yeah.
It's lovely here. You can have the one next to us.
So she just sets up shop and immediately starts having one of her lovers wash her feet in their drinking water.
See, there are rules on the island.
No, she doesn't give a fuck. Okay. Her rules in her mind. And then when she goes to introduce herself to Ritter and Dora, she just settles in one of their deck chairs and demands a cup of tea. But Dora this hoity-toity fucking Nietzsche bitch was like, literally said, quote, unlike Margaret Wittmer, at least the Baroness is no little bourgeoisie housefrau. Even as an enemy, she is a person worthy of one's steel.
Like her steel teeth? Like what steel are we talking about?
Steel balls and teeth. Yeah.
All right.
All of it. But like, she's
Somebody
just like,
die already. Who's going to be the first?
yeah. Oh, there's going to be a few. Shit's
All right,
like,
I'm ready.
pops off.
Okay.
Apparently, Lorenz had met the Baroness in Paris, and with his money, they set up a boutique together, and they hired Philipson as a salesman. Apparently, they decided at some point that the boutique wasn't working, so they were going to do the hotel thing, I guess. I don't really know. And he later told the Wittmers that the Baroness wasn't a Baroness at all, but she was an Austrian who was married to a Frenchman named Basquet, who she had met in Constantinople, where she was a dancer before the war, which I just think sounds like a really exotic sentence, right? And then she also said she was a spy. So I'm wondering if like any of that's true, because that all sounds very fanciful as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I don't know.
Either way, like, this bitch had a cool story, whether she made it up or didn't. Like,
Sounds like this works for a lot of people. Like, create a really interesting backstory and...
Like, she was kind of terrible, but she's like one of those people who just got like away with being terrible because she was also just like really fabulous, you know? Like, I'm kind of like, I don't know, I kind of dig her. Like, you know?
Right.
She had fucking chutzpah.
Yeah.
She had gusto. Yeah. So,
and my guess is she was extremely beautiful, right?
her teeth were something else, but like she
What
was
is with the teeth? This is making me nervous. Like, I've had like go to the dentist on my list for a while, and I'm like, this is what I get for like avoiding it.
Yeah, watch out. Do you even have health insurance? Be careful.
Yeah, no, I do. No, of course.
Okay, you'll probably won't end up with the steel dentures then. You might
No.
be able to get the acrylic ones or something.
Oh yeah, no, I have dental insurance. I just haven't gone because I'm lazy.
Okay.
And it's
Good
COVID.
stuff.
You know, I'm like, I don't want to go to the
Yeah,
hospital.
you guys go to the dentist.
I should.
It's
I
good
should
shit.
Go. I should go. All right.
She put a sign at the shore that said something along the lines of Hacienda Paradiso, where the weary traveler will find tranquility and like da-da-da-da-da. But like Hacienda Paradiso like wasn't built yet. It was just like the fucking shack that she lived in. And apparently like she lived in like fucking filth with her lovers. So it's not even like, I don't know. I don't think the weary traveler was going to find any like tranquility and stuff there. And like I said, she was just like a fucking nut. There was Norwegians from the neighboring island of Santa Cruz who would sometimes come over to hunt. And one of them, Christian Stampa, she shot at him and yelled that the island and everything upon it was hers. So the Baroness is here now with her lovers.
Sounds like a psychopath.
Yeah, she's a psycho.
Yeah.
A lovable psycho, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple months later, in December 1932, Dr. Ritter, reluctantly delivers the Wittmers' baby Rolf, and it temporarily kind of like creates a peaceful atmosphere. It's around Christmas. There's a new baby, so they're like, oh, all right, everybody just like be nice for a little bit. I guess they all kind of exchange gifts. And the next month, in January 1933, the scientists return for their yearly expedition. And this time they brought all three groups on board of the boat at the same time. And one of the scientists wrote that it was a mistake because Dora, quote, immediately spoiled things by telling the Baroness exactly what she thought of her. So they had to separate the groups on the boat for the rest of the day. And they gave gifts to Dora and Ritter, but the Baroness was like, yeah, we have to distribute those amongst everybody. Like, that's not fair. You guys don't get to keep all those. And then this bitch gets away with everything. A few months later, on May 30th, 1933, the governor of San Cristobal came over to investigate when she had shot at Stampa. And he ended up giving her 4 square miles for a hotel and allotted the Wittmers and Ritter and Dora 50 acres each.
Wait, say that again. Who got more?
The Baroness got 4 square miles to build her hotel. And they were like, Wittmers, Dora Ritter, you guys can each have 50 acres. They came to investigate her shooting at a dude and were like, you know what? Instead, here's a bunch of land. You're great.
So she got 4 square miles and they each only got 50 acres.
Yeah.
Okay. So they had 100 acres between the two.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like they hated each other, you know, so. But yeah, so they got way less combined.
Okay.
So at this point, you know, she's getting like quite the reputation like throughout the world. So yachts sailing the Pacific would go out of their way to meet her. And apparently she would like make fun of the Wittmers and Ritter and Dore to people who came. And she would like tamper with their mail and edit letters to like make up fantastical stories and stuff. And Margaret Wittmer said that there was a headline in a paper once that said that the Baroness had captured Ritter and put him in chains. Like, and there was like rumors about her like wielding like a whip and a pistol. And she was often carrying a gun because she was just like a nut. But they were like Queen of Floreana with her fucking like whip, like taking people. She kind of, you know, made the stories about herself larger than life. But, I mean, she was kind of fucking a press genius because she was trying to get people to come and see her so that she could be like, yo, what's up? Check out my place. I'm trying to get some money for a hotel. Like, you have a yacht. Like, you got some cash, right?
You have to look the part. And this goes for everybody out there listening. Like, if you don't look the part,
you're not going to get shit in life.
I mean, you want to be a baroness, gun-wielding queen.
You better fucking act like a baroness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Believe in yourself, you guys. You can do whatever you want. You want to go fucking take over an island and like do it. Fucking do it. Although it's like we said earlier, those days are over where you can just take over islands.
Yeah.
And be alone with your steel teeth. It's like those days are gone.
Unless you're like Richard Branson and you own Virgin, then pretty sure.
Or you're like Jeffrey Epstein and okay, let's not go there.
Nah.
And just to like kind of like really nail it home, like how much dudes just like loved this chick somehow. In January of 1934, on their third visit, Captain Hancock came with his crew and made a short silent film called The Empress-of-Floreana, starring the Baroness. They showed this movie, it's only 4 minutes, in the documentary. And basically the premise is that the Baroness plays a pirate queen living on a deserted island with her young lover. Okay. And another newlywed couple washes up to shore and she shoots the husband. No, she shoots the wife. And then the husband runs up to like try to get help. And then she has her lover then she has the husband kill her lover. And then her and like the husband get together.
Okay.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird movie. And her lover in the movie was played by Philipson, which is quite telling because Lorenz soon begins to fall out of favor of the Baroness. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we get back from this next commercial break. Okay, and we're back. So there's jealousy and bad feelings a-brewing all over the island. The Wittmers are living off the land successfully at this point, but Ritter and Dora are having a harder time because the ship like keeps bringing them gifts. Like when Hancock's crew comes, they keep bringing them like shit, you know, guns and rice and chairs or whatever. So like they went to go be self-sufficient, but then they're like, yeah, but actually like, yeah, we'll take your presents. Okay. I'm cool with that. And although Lorenz used to be the favorite, he was now falling out of the Baroness's favor. And she's like all about Philipson. Okay. And it's speculated that there was perhaps some jealousy amongst the women. Hines, so Margaret's wife Hines apparently like visited Ritter and Dora on a weekly basis, which confused me because also like they hated each other, but apparently he did.
Okay.
And there's a picture of Ritter and the Baroness like looking at each other actually like quite fondly. So there's some speculation that like maybe Heinz and Dora were hooking up, or maybe.
Got it.
I mean, I could see that. Like, you're bored, right? You're like,
yeah, you got to keep things fresh on the island.
Yeah, so exactly.
Right?
So like I said, Lorenz was originally the main dude, but now he's just been banished to taking care of the livestock and doing house chores. And the fancy
Boring.
yachts. Yeah. And the fancy yachts have kind of stopped coming in at this point. So like potential buyers that she was trying to get to buy into her hotel are not really showing up anymore. And she's getting all just like restless and pissed off. So probably out of boredom and irritation, she starts playing Lorenz and Philipson against each other. And apparently she encouraged them to like duel. I don't know if like physically or verbally or both, but basically like encourage them to like fight for her favor and would just like watch with delight. Like, yes, who loves me most? And Lorenz was smaller, so Philipson always won. And basically, Lorenz just became like a servant instead of a lover. He had to do all the hard work, and if he hesitated or like fucked anything up, Philipson and the Baroness would beat and humiliate him. Jeez. So the DV situation over at Hacienda Paradiso got like pretty intense. And Lorenz tried to run to Ritter and Dora, but they wouldn't take him in because they were just like not about the drama. So he starts spending a lot of time at the Wittmers. But the Baroness would come to the gate each day calling for him, and he'd like run back to her, and then he'd come back later crying. And then Philipson stole Dora's donkey one night and turned it loose in the Wittmers' garden. I'm guessing because like the Wittmers had been taking in Lorenz, Mm-hmm. But then in the morning, Heinz thought that it was feral and fucking shot Dora's pet donkey.
Well, that's horrible.
And I bet Ritter was stoked since he was like, oh, she's so dumb. Like how she loves that donkey.
Jeez.
Not fun times on the island.
No.
So things really start to pop off around March of 1934. A drought has been going on for a long time at this point, and it's super fucking hot. It's up to like 120 degrees in the shade.
What?
And like shit gets crazy during heat waves. It's actually proven.
Oh, crime legit spikes.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that's basically what happened here. Dora said that midday on March 19th, she heard a long drawn shriek, but figured that she was just imagining it. 2 days later, on March 21st, Lorenz showed up and said that like things were all good with him and the Baroness now. He's like, yeah, actually like we patched it up. Things are chill.
Okay.
But a few days after that, he came back with Margaret. And Margaret said that the Baroness had said that some millionaire friends had sailed in and that they were going to be sailing to Tahiti because maybe there would be better luck building a hotel there. And that Lorenz was to stay there to look after her things that she left until she returned or sent for them.
Mm-hmm.
But this was sus AF because her cigarettes and her copy of the book, The Picture of Dorian Gray, were left. And like she never would have gone anywhere, even a short trip, without her lucky book that she always had and her cigarettes.
Mm-hmm. Wait, is it Portrait of Dorian Gray?
I don't
Picture?
know.
Who cares? Oscar Wilde. Is that the one?
I was going to tell you, Cam, I haven't read it. Don't ask me.
Sorry.
Never even heard of it.
The guy who's obsessed with himself? You haven't heard of it? It's pretty good.
I don't know Oscar Wilde's writings or philosophy, okay? Or math. Don't you know me by now? Do you not know who I am?
All right.
And Dora says that she saw the Baroness's tablecloth on the Wittmers' table and possibly some silverware and maybe the Dorian Gray book. I'm not sure. Different accounts. But she was like, this is suspect as fuck. And she also later wrote that there was no ship anywhere near Floreana on the night the Baroness is supposed to have left the island. She said, during the night, I heard shots and a woman's scream. It could only have been the Baroness, and the only person who could have fired the shots is Heinz Wittmer. So Dora thinks that Heinz killed Lorenz for whatever reason.
Okay.
Lorenz tries to sell the stuff, like all of the stuff, to Ritter and Dora and the Wittmers. And Ritter and Dora were like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, maybe we'll get some stuff. But then Margaret finds it suspect that they're so like willing to go through her stuff, assuming that she's not coming back. And so like basically the Wittmers were like, yeah, they did it. Dora and Ritter did this shit. Dora and Ritter did this shit. And then...
But they didn't do it.
No, they didn't. But they just thought it was suspect that they were like willing to like go through their shit so quick.
Okay, of course. Yeah.
But they probably didn't do it. No, we don't really know what happened.
Okay.
Maybe she's in Tahiti. We're not there yet.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so basically just like, you know, both of the couples are pointing the finger at one another, like suspecting each other. When like, honestly, it was probably Lorenz because he was getting like daily beaten and humiliated by them and probably lost his shit during the heat wave.
Sounds about
like,
right.
And then the Wittmers, I'm guessing, like probably helped them cover it up because they were like next door neighbors and they were close with Lorenz, you know, and not like there's any fucking law enforcement on the island. So he's like super wanting to get off the island at this point. And finally, on July 10th, 1934, a small fishing vessel arrived and he convinces this Norwegian fisherman, Nugarud, to take him first to Santa Cruz Island and then to San Cristobal, where he can catch a ferry to Guayaquil and peace the fuck out. So Nugarut agreed to take him out on Friday the 13th, which is like, according to sailors, like a no-go. And they made it to Santa Cruz, but disappeared somewhere between Santa Cruz and San Cristobal. And months later, the mummified bodies of both men were found on Marchena Island, which is actually in the northern part of the archipelago. And not anywhere near either of those islands, but it's suspected that his boat was pretty known to be janky and it probably like ran out of gas or broke and they drifted there.
You know, I didn't even know this, but like you can, like your body will mummify if the circumstances are correct. So like if you die out in extreme sun, like, your body will naturally mummify.
Yeah, so their body's mummified.
Yeah.
They died of hunger and thirst, which like, fuck, that would suck, right?
And then your whole body just roasts in the sun until you become like a leathery, crumpled up mummy.
Yeah.
It's rough, man. Yeah.
So meanwhile, back at the ranch, we're up now to November 1934. And Ritter's like writing in his fucking journal or whatever, you know, saying that they're short on food and they're fighting all the time. But at the same time, Dora's writing in her journal that they're like doing really well and like thriving. So like maybe she was setting up an alibi. I don't know. Because the drought like really fucks shit up. So they don't have anything to eat, you know, because they're vegetarians. So they start like finding dead chickens to boil and eat.
So is their philosophy like they don't want to hurt another animal to survive?
Probably.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because the dead chicken thing is...
Well, I think
like
once you haven't like... Yeah, but it's survival at this point, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering why dead... Like, if I'm going to eat meat, I'd probably go for something fresh. But,
I think the animals were dead too. Like there was no water and vegetation for the animals. Like shit on that island was dying left and right.
Yep.
It's hot as fuck, you know?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So apparently they offered some of these like dead boiled chickens to the Wittmers and they, quote, hastily refused the offer. And like,
we're good, guys.
Yeah, we're good on that. Thanks. We got to go. So apparently Ritter and Dora ate the boiled chicken and he got sick. So Dora ran to the Wittmers and told them, and her and Margaret went back. And Dora said that she had ate the meat too, but she was like actually fine. So like, it's funny. Dora and Margaret, like basically like the big feud of the whole thing is against them. Like this like chick who thought she was super cool because she was like Nietzschean, and then like the common housefrau, and just like them being like, no, fuck you. Because like Margaret wrote in her, like one of her writings or whatever, you know, that like, yeah, and this bitch basically just started like quoting Nietzsche and Lao Tzu at me.
I don't know that one. Not familiar.
Lao Tzu.
Yeah, I've heard the name. Haven't read anything.
Okay, yeah. So she was like, yeah, like this bitch just started like quoting Lao Tzu and Nietzsche at me and was like, fuck that chick. They were basically just like, eye roll at each other.
Guys, you're the same. Well, you guys are the same.
You're on this fucking island, aren't you?
If you're on the island, you're all pretty much the same. Like, everything's the blanket.
At the end of the day.
Philosophically speaking. Yeah, it's all the same. Okay.
So Margaret said that like Dora was trying to give Ritter morphine and he was like struggling away from her and was just like did not want a fucking bar of her near him.
Wait, but he's really sick right now, right? He's got bad food poisoning.
Yeah. So Margaret said that his tongue was so swollen that he couldn't speak, but that he grabbed a piece of paper and wrote, "Dora, I curse you with my dying breath," and looked at her with hate.
That's because it's coming out of both ends. You know what that's called? The Screaming Eagle, if anyone's wondering. We've named it in the family. Screaming Eagle.
Wow. That's...
You guys excited that I told you that? Yeah.
Feel
You're feeling a little grossed out.
touched.
We've all been there, though. Food poisoning is the worst.
Worst day of my life. Worst week of my life.
Especially if you're on an island
Oh
in
my
120-degree
God.
weather with no
Right.
water. You could easily die from that. That sounds literally like a death sentence.
Well, and it's so maybe it was the chicken. It totally could have been the chicken, but also it's suspected that like after years of him just being such a dick to Dora, she poisoned him because she was like, you know what? Because also they were like, he's been living on an island for a long time. Like he can probably tell if he's like about to eat some bad meat. Maybe, there's this suspicion. And obviously Dora doesn't say that he ever like wrote, "I curse you with my dying breath."
Well, and she's also fine.
Yeah, she's fine.
But we know she ate the chicken and she was okay.
She says she did. She said she did.
Okay.
So her account is that, like she read Nietzsche to him until dawn. And then he sat up with this like look of peace and tranquility on his face before he like laid down and died. It's like this, it's a very beautiful picture.
Oh, so he does die.
I'm
of food poisoning on the island.
He dies of something.
Right
Their
after
stories
getting
are
sick.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit more inclined to believe Margaret's story.
That he was poisoned.
Yeah, either by chicken or by Dora. And that but I don't know, hers is much more fantastical. Like, "I curse you with my dying breath." But then in Dora's version, they read Nietzsche till dawn and have a peaceful moment together. So I don't know, baby.
Probably somewhere in the middle.
No, you're right.
It's usually somewhere in the middle.
Good fucking point. You're probably right. So on November 21st, 1934, this asshole dies.
Okay.
And a couple weeks later, on December 2nd, a small American fishing boat passed that island of Marquina,
Okay.
and saw the bodies and a flag made from a bamboo pole and a gray coat.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know, maybe they were already on their expedition or whatever, but Captain Hancock and the crew on the Valero 3 showed up pretty quick. They showed up by December 7th and took Dora back to Germany. Now, here's another place where I'm pretty confused. The story definitely went one of two ways. One account says that Dora returned to Germany and was determined to publish Ritter's writings, but was unsuccessful in doing so. Surprise, surprise. And died of multiple sclerosis complications in 1943.
Yeah, but she never had to share her dentures ever again.
They were all hers now.
Right? Dude, Dora the Explorer got a big come up. She's like, "My husband died, but I'm never sharing these fucking dentures ever again."
Dude, she was the original Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, literally.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Nailed it. But this guy named Waldo Schmidt that I found on the internet, I don't know, he's probably a philosopher or something too, said that Ritter's book is of theosophical leanings, but it is the type of theosophical writing that no one cares to read after seeing the first page or two.
Nice.
This fucking guy.
We literally don't care about your outlook on anything.
Yeah, just shut up. Yeah.
Yep. Perfect.
But she did write her own book called Satan Came to Eden, a survivor's account of the Galapagos Affair in 1934. And there was also an account that says she was admitted to a mental hospital at some point and died during the war when a bomb hit the institution that she was in and killed her. So I don't know. It's kind of muddy exactly what she did and what happened to her when she got back. But she did definitely write that book.
Okay. Who was Satan? Her or Ritter, the other guy?
I'm not sure. I guess Satan.
Must be
Well, I don't know.
her hubby.
Well, Ritter, she still spoke very highly of him after his death.
Hmm.
So I bet the Baroness was Satan.
Okay.
Or, maybe I bet it's just that Satan came to Eden because let's do a recount. The Baroness and Philipson disappeared, never to be seen again. Mm-hmm. Lorenz and the Norwegian fisherman ended up as mummies on an island. Ritter died like a shitty death on the island.
Ritter had a terrible death. Yep.
And
so it's just the whole affair. Satan
came and fucked it all up for everybody.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He commandeered. He was like, let's get this party
I'm gonna
started.
have some fun here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The Wittmers ended up opening a small hotel, which is still open today. And the baby Rolf that Ritter delivered ended up opening an upscale yachting company. So I think the Baroness would have been pretty stoked.
Nice.
Margaret Wittmer wrote a book called Floreana, A Woman's Pilgrimage to the Galapagos in 1959. And after that, she refused to ever speak a word about 1934 again. A lot of people speculate that she took part in the covering up of the death of the Baroness and Philipson.
Oh, right.
So basically, both women wrote books and were pointing fingers at the other one, this sketchy bitch,
she did,
helped make these people disappear. Yep. And then she was like, well, this sketchy bitch over here killed her fucking dude. And lastly, so that's kind of what happened to everybody. But like I said, what the fuck happened to Manuel?
Yeah, where did he go?
Manuel, if you're out there, if you're listening, let us know you're okay.
He'd be like,
he's going to come haunt me as a ghost tonight. I'm fine. I lived a peaceful life.
Nobody did very well. And that's it. We did it. Nobody did very well on the island.
No one fared well on the island of...
It's a bad one. It's Shit Island. Let me just call it that. Shit
Island. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So like we said, we're going to start doing shout outs once a month now because, our production schedule is just a little bit all over the place. So we just decided that this is a little bit easier to keep track of. So we have a ton of thank you guys. We have a ton of thank yous because you guys are the shit.
Mm-hmm.
So we have some new patrons, Leanne, Tyler, Heather, and Michelle. Thank you guys so much.
Round of applause. You're in the cult.
Yeah, you guys are helping us make our dreams. You make my dreams come true. Is that a song? I don't know. I just made it.
It's close. It's close enough.
I was close.
Yeah.
You guys are making our dreams come true.
You're in the ballpark. And now all those patrons, you guys are in the cult.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Do we call them Patreons or patrons?
Patrons.
What's
patrons?
The word here? Patrons. That's what I want to call them.
You do you, Cam.
There's an E in there. Patreons.
Well,
you guys let us know what you want to be called.
Yeah.
You guys let us know. Yeah. Tell us what you think. And listener-sodes, should we talk about those?
Sure.
Yeah, we should. Thank you, Whitney, Kristen, Tyler, and Michelle. We loved hearing your stories.
Oh, good ones. Good ones.
Yeah, we hope many more weird and fucked up stories are on our horizon.
Oh, keep them coming, y'all.
Yep.
Keep them coming. And JJ Luna Eclipse, Jason Goldie 831, G Girl 777, Eden Smith, First Raid, all left super awesome Reddit Rex. No, they all left reviews.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what they did. But
excellent
Molly
reviews.
Left a beautiful Reddit recommendation as well. I don't know why I'm waving my hands in the air a lot right now. Just
it's
yeah, they did it. So thanks for doing it. And somebody won the review. Yvette's drum rolling in the background.
Yep. She's doing air drums real
Jason.
Big. You won,
the
Jason.
crowd goes wild.
You're the winner.
Yeah, he is.
Do people still say winner, winner, chicken dinner, or is that 5 years ago?
They should. No.
Okay.
It's today. Yep. It's very today.
I don't know where that saying comes from. I saw it in the movie 21.
I bet it was back in the day. during the Depression when food was hard to come by.
Is
so
this
if
something?
you want
Are
a
we like being?
contest,
Is this something like I know I'm going to look this up and it'll be like, it's not PC to say that anymore. Winner chicken dinner is like something that's like, leave it to me to like be offensive when I don't want to.
What are the origins? Is yeah.
Is it what is it? Is it
It's a book. It's a phrase used in like a video game. I'm not sure.
We're safe.
You guys,
We're
let
fine.
us know if you know the origin
of winner chicken dinner. And bingo. We've been forgetting a lot to play, but it looks like you guys have been playing. So thank you, Mike, Chris,
good job.
Ophelia. And the winner is Chris down in South Africa.
Woo! Chris down in
Right?
South Africa. Chris actually is like a day one listener. He actually won bingo back in May and June of 2020 because at that point, no one else played.
Right. Is he going to mind that we said where he's from?
No.
He doesn't care.
No.
Yeah.
No. Nah. I don't
where he
think so.
lives.
Chris, let us know if you mind. We didn't give away an address or anything.
Right. We're not saying like go stalk this person.
But if you
at this
want us to
address.
give out your address on air, Chris, let us know. We could probably arrange that.
Right.
All right, this is getting weird.
This is weird. I made it
yeah.
weird as usual. I made it pretty weird. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Damn it, Cam. Every time.
I'm weird about, I'm like, I've never had a stalker. Like, no one wants to stalk me, but I'm always like, what about stalkers? Ever since Cindy James, I'm just like, we should not be telling people where other people are. Like, this is personal business.
Well, I think they all know we're in America.
Nobody knows where I am.
They even know your state.
I know. And I say downtown
And
LA
mine.
all the time. Like, why don't we have any stalkers?
Cameron
Like, what's
Holly
wrong with
Dexter.
us? Shouldn't we have stalkers by now? That's what I'm saying. Cameron Holly Dexter.
That's Cameron Holly Dexter, downtown LA. Ashley Richards, Boulder County. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on. See, we're going to get in trouble. This is what we get. Cults and stalking. We're playing with fire. And Chris is down in South Africa. Okay. As always, please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. Reddit and Facebook recs are awesome. In addition to ratings on your listening platforms, as you guys know, we are on all the platforms, all the feels, iTunes, Spotify, all the things. Send us your reviews, bingo cards, and listener-sewed stories to tsfutthepodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, because you guys could too get a shout out on an episode or win a free mug or a free month of Patreon or get your it's a
It's a
I'm
mouthful.
not drunk. Listener-sewed stories played on the show. Fuck, I don't know. I think that sounds like so many cool opportunities,
It's
right?
It's a lot of cool stuff.
Hit us up. And consider joining our Patreon for the low price of, I think we've said this one before, but we're going to say it again because who doesn't spend a lot of money at the coffee store, right?
Mhm.
Latte, you guys. Just your typical Monday morning, grande flat white. Plus tip, that's going to run you about $7. So Patreon doesn't even cost that much.
I'm a cold brew oat milk kind of girl myself, but
Yeah, I see that.
you can
But
tell.
cold brew's
Yeah.
too much. That's like, phew.
What?
I'll just have an anxiety attack. It's so caffeinated. It's exuberant.
Ashley's nervous just talking about cold brew, guys. Okay, this is like,
I'm jacked up just thinking
We're-
about it.
we're really.
Ah!
She's getting sweaty.
Oh, so
the nerves
sweaty.
are. Yeah.
Or play bingo, you guys, because it's fun and you could win a free month. And don't forget, you can find us everywhere at tsfutthepodcast.com. That's where you can find the merch, Patreon, bingo. Wow. We got to go. It's been a long one. We love
Yep.
you guys. Wow. Fuck. We'll see you next season. This is the last episode. I forgot that throughout the course of us recording. This
Bon
is
voyage.
the last episode. See you guys. We love you. Bye. Remember, it's not a cult, it's just a podcast.
But really, it's a cult.
Bum 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 bum. That's fucked up. So fucked up. Can't you see? It's just really fucked. That's fucked up.